Welcome to Creative Precious Metals. CPM here. Thought this video will be all about visualizing value while stacking and how that could possibly help us on our journeys. It's definitely helped me. So yeah, I'm going to take you through a bit of a visualization process to help us understand value and how we see value on our journeys. So this is all about money, value, and how we can relate to money and our precious metals. So we all know what these are. We're in the UK, it's £10 note. It's money. It's what we all exchange our time and money for. Well, I presume we all do. Most of us do anyway, as a rule. It's all going to be about the pound because we're in the UK, but this could be euros, it could be anything, any currency, dollars, whatever. Anyway, to help me on my journey, and hopefully it might help you, is sometimes we struggle to understand value when all we've done is been brought up with our currency, and we see our currency as value in a monetary way. So as stackers, collectors or investors, we are investing in this stuff, for argument's sake, silver. So what I've tried to do over time is try and understand how I see the same value as what I see in my currency, see the same and have the same emotion and the same feelings when I look at my silver or gold, for argument's sake, during my collecting and stacking journey. So I thought I'd put a simple process together and have a visual to see how this represents the money that we use to on a daily basis. So we start off with a simple, it happens to be a perf mint coin, but this could be any coin. For the purposes of the video, we're just going to call this a half ounce of silver. Now that half ounce of silver has a value when we buy it, and as a rule in the UK at the moment, we are looking at roughly £10 plus, no, this is a £2 coin, so 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, roughly about £18 for a half ounce of silver in the UK, there or thereabouts. So for me, I have to try and remember that this represents what I'm used to seeing every day and exchanging my time and money for, which is this, £18. So I have a visual reference now imprinted in my brain, and hopefully this video will help you when you're looking at your silver or your gold. You can see it in the currency that you're exchanging your time and money for. So that's the half ounce. 1 ounce, we've got a nice 1 ounce Britannia in the UK. For argument's sake, I know we can get more and pay more or less, but I'm going to call that £30. So there we go, we've got a visual representation of what our 1 ounce Britannia coin is. And it's interesting because I'm so used to this and seeing this for most of my life, and this is what we strive to get, and then we convert it into this, and possibly all we see is that. And I think we have a tendency to forget it's actually this. The value is there, which can depreciate, increase or go down, you know. which means this goes up and down as well. But I find this has really helped me understand every time I look at a 1 ounce silver Britannia, in this case, it's represented by this. And this always looks more, and it has done for a long time for me because I'm so used to dealing with it, this always looks more than just that. And yet really it is that. This really helped me understand what I was doing and why I was doing it, because I had a visual. Now it's imprinted in my brain. So what does that look like when over time we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You know, it's a simple exercise. You know where I'm going with this now. So we've got 10 ounces of silver. Looks lovely. Looks really lovely. Feels good. But to especially to new people getting into it, into this stacking, it's still just, it represents metal. You know, something metal that makes a nice noise, and I think we forget what its true representation is and why we're stacking it, why we're collecting it. So the greatest way to do that is look at it in its true value sense, in a currency that we go and exchange our time and money for. 10, 12, 14, 16, 30, which now what I just showed you is this. Now to many of us this starts to look, oh wow, I want more of this, look at this, this is what I strive for, this is what I work really hard for, look at all that currency money, fiat currency. And don't get me wrong, I'm not being stupid here, but that looks pretty impressive. When you're used to dealing with, I mean, unfortunately we're losing cash more and more, but when you're used to dealing with this, it always looks more than what it really is. It's a bit of an illusion really, because a lot of it is being debased and through inflation becoming a lot worth less. But we all have an affiliation, especially if you're in the UK or wherever you are in the world with your own currencies. That looks a lot, but in true reality that represents that. You know, and when we're dealing with this every day, for some reason we just become so attached to this fiat currency, we forget that it's represented by this. You know, so the visual, don't forget that your hard work can be stacked into these. And just one of them, as we did before, is representing this hard-earned money that you go out and earn. But when you look at it this way, it looks so much bigger, doesn't it? It's just, oh, I want those £20 notes, I want them, I want them, I want them. In true reality, if you've got this, you've got it. But I know we don't go out and spend these every day. We can go and exchange them back into this, but that's not the point of this video. The point of this video is to remember what you're holding. You're holding this, in this metal, in this valuable metal. It has a value. And there's the representation of it. Looks wonderful, doesn't it? And I know a lot of people will go, I want this. But for me, I want this. Because over time, possibly, this is gonna increase. Again, that's another conversation. And the same applies, you know, bars. If you like your bars, there's 10 bars there, represented by this. Totally. It's so valuable. Once you get it in your hand, it doesn't matter whether you've got one bar, one coin, half ounce, it's all represented. There's a visual to it, and you have to remind yourself there's a visual to it. All you've done is gone out, exchanged your time and energy for this, and you've put that time and energy into, for argument's sake, a 10 ounce bar. Same thing, roughly about the same money. So don't get distraught and think, oh, I've only got one, because in true reality, if you've only got 1 ounce, you've actually got that, really. And if you think, oh, I've only got 5 ounces, you've got obviously 5 times 4, 150 pounds. If you've got 10 ounces, you've got 300 pounds. Don't forget it. The visual is so important on your journey. What it is for me, it's been a massive importance in all my investment journey. You know, this is what they represent totally. And the same with gold. You know, you can do the same with gold. 1 gram bar of gold. What does that represent? When you sit there and go, oh, I've only got 1 bar of gold. I hear it quite often. I've only got 1 bar of gold. Well, that 1 bar of gold, that 1 bar of gold is represented, as a rule, 70 pounds. Well, actually, probably more like 75 pounds. So there's your visual, this looks more, doesn't it? It looks more from it. It's so psychological. It looks so much more than just that, but that is that, you know. So the next time you think, oh, I've only got 1 bar of gold, remember the video. Remember that you haven't got 1 bar of gold. Well, you have, but really it's represented by all this stuff we strive for in our countries. That's a massive, another video. But we're in an economy that relies on this to get our day to day. And we're used to seeing this with more and more in electronical form, but it's the same principle. You can't see it electronically, so you've got nothing to compare it to other than numbers on your phone or your computer, bank account or whatever, on a piece of paper. And that's why I like to do that, because this is of value, even if you've got one. Even if you've got one, all of a sudden it looks a lot more, doesn't it, when you represent it like this? It's nuts. It's absolutely crazy. It's a psychological thing you need to get over. You really do. Let's look at something ridiculously small again. A 1/10 ounce Britannia. I've only got 1/10. I hear it a lot. Oh, I've only got this, I've only got that. Well, trust me, that only got, you know where I'm going with it, obviously, is worth about £205. I'm not going to get the £5 out. 210 maybe. But now look at it. Look, sorry, that's not a very good fan, is it? But, you know, look at it now. Loads of people would absolutely, unbelievably would love that in their hand. And yet, it's represented by this 1/10 piece of gold. So when we're feeling, oh, I want more, or I haven't got enough, and just remember on your journey, all the time, every one of these, just double that. So when you get that, just remember what that looks like in real terms, and that will give you that encouragement to carry on. It's a great visual representation of what you're doing. More than anything. It's not until you start to see that in your head, without that being there, then you realise, oh wow, having one of these is just incredible, because most people haven't got one of these. They might have that depreciating currency. Have they got these? And this will hold its value over time and hopefully go up a little bit. Who knows? The point is it will hold that as a rule. Unless something really weird happens in this world, it will hold it. So it's valuable, it's so valuable. It's incredible. There's only one, whether it's a tenth of gold, a gram of gold, half ounce of silver, 10 ounces of silver, in coins, in bars. There's one big coin, still 10 ounces. Remember what you're visualizing against. Totally, it's incredible. And then we go to a bit of an extreme, and that's a sovereign. You know, it's a little 2009 sovereign there, or quarter ounce gold coin. Lovely coin, that, I love that. But what's its true value? What is it represented by? 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 28, 30, 32, 34, 36, 38, 40, 42, 44, 46, 48, 50. You put £500 in front of the camera and it's just like nuts money. Most people don't earn that a week. Crazy, absolutely crazy. Look at it all. It's mad. Mad, mad, mad. And we get obsessed with, oh, I want loads of this. I want loads of this. But that loads of this, you can simply be proud of if you happen to strive and end up with one of these. It's value. It's a visual value that will help you through your goals and journeys and stacking, because it takes time. Time is everything. Time is money. Store it in this, and you've stored your time and energy into something. You know, just because you've only got one doesn't mean to say you haven't stored anything. You've stored all of this into this. So hopefully that visual exercise will help you. It's something that helps me all the time. That's why I carry this, my little pocket piece, out with me all the time, because it reminds me wherever I am, that's a value of £30 roughly. £30. I'm not carrying 30. I'm not carrying this in my, well, I may have it in my wallet, but I'm not as a rule carrying that in my pocket all the time. As a reminder, what does that remind me of? A shitty job that I do? The next bill or whatever. But if you're privileged enough and careful enough and you work hard enough, or whatever your circumstances are in life, if you can try and just transfer a little piece of this into this, be proud of yourself, you know? Be very proud, because this represents that energy. And it will store it for you over time, especially with gold. But if your time preference is very, very long, silver will do it for you too, unless there's some sort of mad, crazy change in the world that we're living. So hopefully that's helped. Let me know in the comments. I love a visual exercise. This is, you know, whenever I've, over time, it's always helped whenever I've talked to my children about money. That sounds a bit patronising, but it helped me. It helped me as a visual. It helped me on my stacking journey as a visual. That you know, one turns into. It's unbelievable when you look at that. That's like nearly £100. Remember, that's £100, almost. Remember, it's hard work, time and energy gone into that, and you're storing it. You're storing it for as long as you need to store it. You know, £75. What does £75 look like? Most people haven't got £75 cash to get out and look at. But if you did, you'd understand the value more because you've got a visual representation of it, which is why I've done this video. It's important because in this day and age, everything's electronic, and we're not. It's so easy to forget what our time and energy represents. And yes, a lot of people say, yeah, this is why I stack gold and silver, but do you really, really appreciate what 1 gram is? What it represents? What time and energy that represents? And with that visual, it helps. It's a reminder. So yeah, hopefully that's helped. Let me know in the comments, I'm sure you will. Hopefully that's helped. And yeah, see you in the next one. Take good care of yourselves. See you soon. Bye.